Hey, this is Joe. It's a beautiful 94 degrees here in Southern California. And if you look at my engine here, I have a thermocouple running down through the dipstick tube down into the engine that we're going to take out and run the car today. And we're going to see what kind of oil temp readings we're going to get. I'm in the process of determining whether or not I want to put an oil cooler on my car. And in Southern California, it can get quite hot in the summertime. Let me show you the interior setup that I have in order we can record the temperatures that the engine oil is going to be generating here. Inside the car, I have my Klein Tools multimeter. And this meter has a thermocouple reading where I can read in either Fahrenheit or centigrade. So we're going to go out and run up into the hills for about an hour and see what kind of oil temperatures we're going to get. And again, I can use this data in order to determine whether I want to add an oil cooler and or change the oil viscosity in the summertime on my 2024 Mazda Miata ND3. So let's get driving. And when I get back, I will show you the results, and then we can make a determination on if we want to install an oil cooler or not. I just got back from my trip testing out the car with the thermocouple and the oil dipstick tube. As you can see here on the gauge, as I just pulled into my driveway, the temperature dropped from 94 to 93 degrees. If you look up at the top, the water temperature, pretty much the entire trip stayed just below 210 degrees Fahrenheit. We drove up and back. There was an elevation change of 761 feet, and it was just over 16 miles one way. So we drove 16 miles up, 16 miles back. And again, the elevation change was 761 feet. On the way up, on the trip, I drove pretty hard. It's sort of a windy road, and I hit about 6,000 RPM in some of the lower gears. And I tried to drive fairly spirited to see if I could, again, put the engine under load. And I had the air conditioner on because, again, it's hot outside. The max temperature reading I received was 223 degrees Fahrenheit, and that works out to 106.11 degrees centigrade. On the way back, I drove somewhat casual. The max temperature was 211 degrees Fahrenheit and 99.4 degrees Celsius. And I'm running 0W20 oil viscosity. I'm running Pennzoil Platinum Ultra in the car. This is sort of going to be important in the upcoming videos. I'm going to do a couple videos. I purchased some VP Racing cool down, and we're going to, now this was sort of the baseline for the water temperature. I'm going to put some of the VP Racing cool down in the car, and we're going to go run another trip up to the exact same location and back, and see if that knocks down the water temperature. In another video, I'm going to give you some data on how to calculate the proper oil viscosity based on various engine specifications and oil temperature readings. Now, as far as the oil cooler goes, I'm going to say, again, here in Southern California in the summertime, it gets pretty hot. And again, I'm running 0W20 oil right now. What I'm probably going to do is maintain that oil viscosity in the wintertime, but in the summertime I'm going to change that viscosity. And more than likely I'm going to install an oil cooler on the car. So stay tuned for some videos. I'm not going to buy a over-the-counter oil cooler for my car. I have a 2024 Mazda Miata ND3, and those oil coolers run anywhere from over $500 to $700. So I'm going to spec out some parts and do some aftermarket oil cooler on my car, and I'm going to do a video on how I spec that out and the installation and how that goes, and then we'll run some more tests on the oil temperature. But hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.